Hello, welcome to Andertons TV. My name is Jack Duxbury. Taylor's behind the camera. Come with me, Taylor. You might see on the front of this lovely building in Brentford, in the west of London in England, that we're at the Korg Gallery, and it's closed for a private event, and that event is Andertons coming to tour it. And as I understand inside, we've got our favourite person from Korg. Let's see if he's in there. Right, here we are, the door to the Korg Gallery.
How's it going?
You see it?
You too.
Luke, this has been a long time coming.
It has.
I've heard about this a couple years ago.
24 it opened, yeah.
And you said, we've got this place, we've got a museum. And I said, I always want to see it. But Stuart finally let us.
It's a sunny day. To do it.
He let us get in the car. Firstly, what is the Korg Gallery and where are we?
We're in the Musical Museum in Brentford near Kew Gardens, and this is a gallery within that museum, which we've basically commandeered to display all of our history, I just think this place is incredible. I love it.
Yeah, and how did it come about?
It just came about through a conversation we were having with them, and they were keen to, they do a lot of really vintage instruments, like hundreds of years ago, from everything from like pianos, harpsichords, through to Wurlitzers and everything. But they don't have a lot of modern representation of, i.e. the last sort of 50, 60 years in terms of synthesizers and that sort of technology. So we kind of fitted that gap perfectly. They were happy to offer us the space.
We're saving you the journey to Brentford. Yeah. Actually, if you could fly in, this is a good one to fly in.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
And I'm interested to see what else has got, because they're so sweet out there already. They're hospitable, and you can see we've got a lot of stuff. We'll get round to that.
They'll definitely show you around.
But let's do a tour.
Yes, okay.
Where do we start?
Well, if you look around the walls, we've got a timeline. So it starts way back in 1962, when Korg was founded, basically. And then we'll walk around and then kind of explore, if you like.
And how do you talk about the founding of Korg?
How do I talk about it?
Yeah. What's the company line on how did it start?
Well, basically it started with...
Because I don't know.
Mr. Kato's son. He was the original founder, and he owned a nightclub originally in Tokyo. Nothing to do with synths or anything like that. He had this other guy working with him who was called Osanai, and he was an accordion player in his nightclub, and he was using this drum machine called a Wurlitzer Sideman, which is quite a famous drum machine from back then, one of the very, very early ones back in the 60s. He didn't like it. There was certain things about it he couldn't get it to do when he was performing live. So he convinced Kato's son to design a new drum machine and basically give it at that time it wasn't Korg, but give it the Korg badge, if you like. And that's where it all started, with the Donkomatic, which is that instrument there on the wall.
The Donkomatic.
Have you heard of that before?
No, what a name.
It's crazy. So it's basically called that because...
1963, the company's first product was an electrical mechanical rhythm device, the disc rotary electric auto rhythm machine, Donkomatic DA20.
Yeah.
The name Donka was an onomatopoeic reference to the sound the rhythm machine made, donka, donka, donka.
Yeah, it literally sounds like donka, donka, donka when you hit. And it's massive as well. It's like as big as a washing machine.
Yeah, this thing.
Yeah, and it's got keys on it. So you can actually trigger the drum sounds live if you want to, or program rhythms and...
Interesting keyboard arrangement there as well.
Yeah, it's like, I think it starts on C, but then it only goes up to, it's not got the third black note. Yeah, it's really odd. They kind of condensed that technology into the little units you can see, little lower down, mini pops, these ones.
Okay.
And then, so it was mainly at that time in the early 60s and going through the 60s, drum machines, nothing else. But then they moved into making keyboard instruments. So they decided to make an organ, which was that prototype one there.
1967.
Yes. And that's when the link came with Fumio Maeda, which is this guy. So he's a very famous person within Korg. He's designed lots of products, starting with that one, through the MS-20, PS3300, all the like big hitters in the analog synth world he's had a hand in, which is pretty cool. That's him there as well, demonstrating.
Wow.
So that's how it all started, really, and that's how we kind of morphed then into keyboard instruments from that point.
All this gear in here. What's the earliest bits of gear? Have we got some of it?
The oldest is probably the Mini Korg 700, which is like 73.
Right. Now
You're familiar with this because we remade it.
Is this the reissue?
That's the reissue. That's the original.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel it's a faithful recreation?
I think it's completely faithful. Maeda's son made it. So he made the original and he made the new one. So you can't really get better than that. Because he's still in the company.
Oh, so the same guy?
Yeah, same guy, literally.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's what you want to hear.
He's like a Korg legend. So there were actually 2 versions of the Mini Korg 700. There was that one, and there was the S version, which had a second oscillator, which added some of these functions. But then on the modern remake, we gave it even more capability. So we added the pitch bend mod wheel, the patch memories, MIDI, USB, stuff like that, just to bring it into
the side by side, they really look.
World.
You can see that you've been faithful to it.
It's very, very faithful, yeah.
And I love that. If you haven't seen this, we did a video on it. I've played it a couple of times.
Yeah, I saw you did a video.
And I really enjoyed it. I love
the terminology.
The terminology is the one, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like the Traveller. That's the filter basically, but it's just like low and high.
And how this is designed, right? You know, it's locked.
Yeah.
In that mechanism, so you can kind of do this sweeping like
you
band
can do like
pass
band
thing.
pass. But what's cool is, and people modded their originals, they actually sawed those off, those little notches, so they could go past each other and do extra filtering techniques. So what we did with the remake was we offered 2 sets of knobs, one with notches and one without. So you can kind of do both, which is really cool.
And a lovely case.
Yeah. Oh, the case. It's down there. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Let's keep going through. Just an absolute
It's a treasure trove, isn't it, this?
Yeah.
It really is. So that was like 73, I think, yeah, that came out. A little bit later in the 70s. This whole story from the sort of 3300 and the MS series, that's all linked together because PS3300, the mammoth polyphonic synth, fully polyphonic at 48 notes, came in 77, and it was just completely revolutionary.
48 voices of polyphony.
So literally every note on the keyboard.
Loves polyphony. That's a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Am I right? Is this been reissued recently?
It is. That is the reissue, yeah. Because the originals are so rare.
So I've not seen this yet.
Don't think you have.
I've not seen it, and we haven't had any in the store, have we?
No.
They're rare as
They're rare as anything. Even the reissues are really rare.
Wow. Because at first glance, it just looks like a really clean old one.
Yeah. But it's
like,
not.
Why is the cabinet like it's perfectly old school wood?
Yeah. They've done an amazing job on the reissue on this one. And again, completely making it authentic, but just adding a few things. They've actually combined some of the models together on this one. So there was originally a 3100, 3200 and a 3300. And what they've done with this is basically combined all the features of all 3 into one. So it's got the patch memories, which the original didn't have, but one of the others did have, and all the best things together. And it's just, yeah.
Does it make a noise?
It does.
Yeah, if you're into bird spotting, synth spotting, I just only have heard of this.
Yeah, it's like
and I
one of those.
Know, right? It's that rare.
Mythical things almost. Yeah, so I think there were only like 48 or 50 made ever.
What's it like to play?
It feels great. I don't know about the original one, but this one, it's a modern keyboard on it with aftertouch, so it's just beautiful.
And how do you get around it? Do you think about it like a massive polyphonic MS-20?
Kind of, yeah, and it's got 3 modules. So these 3 modules are 3 oscillators, which are stacked, and then they've got individual mix for all 3. So you can listen to 1, 2, or 3 stacked up. And then when you save your sound, it will save everything. Literally. It's
so fly with the keyboard being separate.
Yeah, that's right.
And is that the case?
It is the case, yeah. It's a proper flight case. We had to take the wheels off to get it under there, but it's even bigger than that.
Wow. Was this just a special edition, or like, can people order
them? No,
them?
They can still order them. They buy them direct from us. We periodically have a few coming in, and then they just sell out.
So. Oh my goodness.
So anyway, that was the technology. So that was, if you think of it like they really went full on with that, designed it, and then some of that technology then filtered down to these instruments. So if you think of the MS-20 like a monophonic version of one of the two of those modules, kind of, that's basically what it was. So then you had a range of MS series, MS-10, MS-20.
Yeah. And I've seen this before.
Yeah, this is called the MS-20 Blackboard.
In a video?
Yeah, this is the MS-20 Blackboard.
How cool is that?
So that was designed originally as a teaching aid for students learning synthesis. So they had a full classroom of people with MS-20s, and then the teacher at the front had one of those.
Until you pointed that out, I didn't know that wasn't a photo on the wall.
Oh, really? You thought?
I thought this was a photo. And then...
Oh, I didn't know it made noises. I thought it was just for
No,
demonstrative purposes.
It's an actual MS-20 in that case.
If I am ever rich one day, that's going in
That's
my
the one.
wall.
It's the best synth ever made.
That's sick.
And I love the way at the museum they
So
built
I've
it
got a
into the
shiver down my
display
spine
as well.
just thinking about like how dope that would be to have in
And
your
also it's got
lounge.
patch bay and everything. We've got patch cables. You can put
Okay, comment below. This needs to be reissued.
it does, yeah.
I want every company to make a blackboard sit
Yeah.
on the wall.
Bieber's gonna get one. Like everyone's gonna want this. Oh my word! 'Cause I think I saw. Is it the lovely Tats?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen him in a video.
Yeah,
somewhere.
probably. Yeah.
But again, it just penny didn't
I think
drop.
Alex Ball did a really good video on this as well. I don't know if it's
Oh, legend.
Yeah, these are super rare as well. I think there's probably about 30 of these in the world.
Crikey.
But also there's an even bigger version,
Cool.
which is even rarer, which is probably about another third bigger than that, which is, it's just crazy, really, which they used to use for teaching as well. So
Can we have a size comparison? Jack, can you stand next to it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm like 6'8", so
Yeah.
that's probably how big it is. One of the greatest goosenecks of all time.
yeah, that's really cool, isn't it?
It's thick.
Oh my God. Gooseneck check.
So here in the museum, we've got some of these connected up to this oscilloscope, for instance, which is nice. So you can see the waveform and then
Yeah.
analyse the. See all the harmonics coming in. Proper MS-20 sound, yeah. Should we talk about ARP, actually, while we're here?
Yes, yes.
ARP, it was back in the day a completely different company. ARP and Korg were almost rivals at that point, and Moog as well. They were all kind of vying for that analog synth kind of market. ARP made some incredible products, as we can see here, over the years. But then in the sort of 80s, I can't remember exactly when, but it's sometime in the 80s, they had a bit of a decline in their product range, and they eventually went into liquidation. And then they kind of just lying dormant for many years. In sort of mid-2010s, they approached Korg to say, would you like to do a collaboration, use our brand, but you make our products? Because they started to see that we were reissuing some of our analog stuff and doing it really well, like the MS-20 Mini and things like that, and the Volcas. That's what we did. And the first product we collaborated with them on was the ARP Odyssey, a legendary product back in the day, used by Herbie Hancock and some of those guys who were doing like front leads and basses and stuff like that. So this was very much a contemporary of the Moog as well. So people were using those both together. And kind of born out of that. And then we also had the legendary ARP 2600, which I think I've done a video on with you before.
You have, yeah. It's just amazing, isn't
Yeah.
it? Sometimes I wonder how much of it is psychosomatic
Yeah.
with the sound. But I really, one thing I found is when these things have come into the studio and we've heard it through the speakers,
Yeah.
it's undeniably exciting.
Yeah. You know then that it's not
It's
just hype.
weird.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a bit like Mellotrons recently. Like I play all the Mellotron samples and I played it and you're like, okay, it's that undeniable feeling.
And that's
But look how authentic you've been.
Yeah.
That's again, back in the day, this was such a revelation. You came out and you were really ahead of the game of bringing back analog, like these old synths, but doing it, you didn't short on anything, basically.
Yeah. No.
And this is the proof. Or if you did, it was a product at a different price point.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. Yeah, so the 2600, just legendary instruments. I mean, it's been used on so many records, which I didn't even realise that until fairly recent when Anthony Marilelli started doing all his Michael Jackson videos, and it's like, this was all over, basically the bass line for all of his albums.
Anthony Marinelli, you've got to check, I'm sure you do.
His channel is just
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. And he's got like Greg Fellingane's playing the original lines from the tracks.
And he uses it for everything.
amazing.
You can tell he's a great exponent of like how versatile this synth still is.
Yes.
Because he turns to it all the time.
Yeah, so I don't know if you noticed around the room, but we've got a few little vinyl records of some of the tracks that this stuff's been on.
Classic.
So we've got Thriller there, which that was all over, and we've got Flat Beat, which is MS-20, obviously, and Daft Punk used MS-20 a lot. So yeah, as we go round, we can talk about those, which is...
Nicknamed Art, as a child growing up in New York City, Alan R. Perlman lent his childhood moniker to the company he later co-founded with Louis G. Pollock and David Friend.
So David Friend is the guy who approached us.
After leaving NASA.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, he's a NASA engineer. So he actually has a charity now, the Alan Perlman Foundation, which is a great charity, which does a lot of great work. And his daughter now carries on the tradition. She's called Dina Perlman. And yeah, she's a great friend of us. And that's actually signed by her, that particular ARP 26 Mini. So that's a really nice thing to have in the museum as well. And the ARP 2600 was just all over, obviously, pop music, but also soundtracks. It's famously used for the voice of R2-D2, for example. And Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and also, you know in Raiders of the Lost Ark where they open the Ark?
Yeah.
That's the ARP 2600, that kind of like rumble sound. Because it was Ben Burt who was doing the sound design for Lucasfilm, did a lot of the Star Wars stuff and that. So as we move on through the ages, I suppose things started to change a little bit. Still analog, but we had these great sort of trio of instruments called the Sigma, Lambda and Delta, and we've got all three of them here. So these were very much focused on different types of sounds. So the Lambda, for example, that's this one, that really specialised in really nice string pads, and that's quite renowned for that sort of thing. The Delta was great for sort of more synth-based sounds. And then they brought out the Triton, which is a great name.
I've never played the Triton.
No, I haven't never. We haven't got one here, unfortunately, but it's basically an amalgamation of these three in one synth.
I've played this because this is, I don't know if you know, but this is quite a hot property because you saw recently, if you're into McGee,
Okay.
a lot of it, he was using the Korg Delta on.
Very cool.
So they've had a bit of a resurgence
Right,
recently.
nice, yeah.
And it does sound great. I think he used it a lot for bass. Oh, mate, I had one of these.
Did you? Yeah.
This changed my life, this keyboard, second hand, out the back of the Echo in Dorset.
So did you have the original? Do you know all the reissue? Because there was a reissue, like 2000-ish.
Mine would have been, it was the original, because it smelled old.
Oh, did it? Definitely would have
If
been.
not, it was horrifically maintained. It just
It was
quickly
like
went
a
into decline.
year after it came out, yeah.
It was just terrible. But I can remember turning up. Yeah, because my first piano ever was a SP300.
Okay.
And then, so I was in on Korg.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I need to play Hammond. And this is one of the only things out there that had...
Yeah. Well, that was what it was designed for. It's basically designed to be a portable solution for people who want to play Hammond. Because before that, there wasn't really anything that sounded decent without having a Hammond and a Leslie and 10 roadies. So this really did fill that gap nicely, and it had a nice Leslie simulator in it, or you could just plug it into a Leslie if you wanted to as well. But it just made that experience portable.
And you nailed it. I mean, in a weird way, I kind of miss it. And there was the dual manual BX3.
Yeah, there was BX3 as well.
Which I can remember Larry Goldings, who's a great exponent of the BX3.
For some reason, it's got a trombone.
And there was like quite a modern version of the BX3, which again, I'd still lust for.
And then we really, getting into the end of the analog era and going into digital era. So the Monopoly and PolySix, believe it or not, came out the same year. They're both like titans within our history. Incredible analog synths.
Just the look of them.
I know, I love
Iconic.
the Monopoly. For me, is one of the nicest looking synths.
Was
ever.
this the ad for
Yeah, I
it?
love the adverts, the old adverts. They're brilliant.
Come on, getting me hyped.
Yeah, it's like pure early 80s, isn't it?
So the early 80s, you see that, you go into your music shop, you're like, tell me I ain't going to buy it, get into debt
I
to
need
buy this.
both, yeah.
And so if you don't know between the Monopoly and the PolySix, what were you talking about?
So the Monopoly was 4-note. The reason it's called the Monopoly is because you use in mono mode, which then sums those 4 oscillators together to give you a fat monophonic sound, which sounds monstrous. But you can then use it as a polysynth as well, if you want to split those out and then use them independently, for voicing 4 parts, which is really cool. And then the PolySix was very much a contemporary of like the Juno 6 and the Prophet 5. So around that time, analog polysynths were really popular. And this was our version of it. So 6-note poly analog synth with an arpeggiator as well, which was cool. And patch memories, which in those days was fairly rare. That must have been a revelation for people when they started getting those, because
stable tuning and all those,
and our analog synths in general were a lot more stable than a lot of the other ones in the market, so that's why people gravitate towards Korg as well.
Amazing design coherence as well.
You're right.
When you see them all, like they're undoubtedly
they've all got a Korg identity, haven't they? Even though they are quite different, but you can tell a Korg.
But how beautiful you've
Apart from
kept.
that one.
It makes sense that if you've had similar people.
Yeah, exactly.
And even since I've known you, like we were pulling up in the car, and you and Andy.
Yeah.
That's like how rare it is to have that continuity within a company.
That's true. Yeah.
And so often I think people are churning and
they more and more these days as well, isn't it?
And they look to why they're struggling sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, I just wanted to mention we've got the multi-poly there as well. New version.
You did a killer demo.
Yeah, that was such a great product, and that is like the modern iteration of the monopoly, if you like. And you
Universal praise for that.
Yeah.
A lot. The value for money. Yeah, if you didn't know about that and you're looking for a first synth to get in that covers everything, that's...
Because one of the things with the monopoly was you had this unique feature on it called oscillator rotate, where you could play a note and then it would rotate through those 4 notes, and we then put it onto there. So that's really the synergy between those two, although that's obviously a total world apart from the technology in that. But.
And here's another one that I've owned 2 of these.
Poly 800, yeah.
I love it. That was like, to me...
Classic advert.
Oh my... Chuck Lavelle! I've never seen him looking so sprightly.
I know, it's weird, isn't it?
Someone find me this jumper.
Oh yeah,
as well. Just
amazing.
Chuck Lavelle. If you don't know Eric Clapton Unplugged.
Yeah. Also Rolling Stones.
Rolling Stones, yeah. But that's the way his solo on Old Love. But then there he is rocking the Poly 800 with the Keytar attachment.
Yeah, because it has the strap locks on it.
It's got the strap locks on.
Which is brilliant.
And
you can see this is a special
reverse keys.
key.
You're way ahead of the time.
Yeah.
And these are very reasonable second-hand. Analog.
Yeah.
The DCOs.
Yeah.
And then the Mark II has a really cool lo-fi delay. It's a great buy.
This is coming into...
Ripe for a reissue as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's coming into a period where there was a time when there was a little bit of a hybrid kind of crossover. So some parts analog, some parts digital. Mm-hmm. And just look at the way the styling... You talked about the styling before, but look how the shift in just a couple of years from that to this. I mean...
I think it's one of the coolest looking synths ever.
Yeah.
I love reverse keys. I don't know about the Poly 61 though.
Yeah, the Poly 61 is kind of a successor to the Poly 6.
It's just 61 keys again, giving the players what they want.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's often one of those things, you see it now. People that, if you grew up, you're a younger kid now, it's actually rare to get 61 keys.
Yeah.
And I love that. You just did that with the Op 6.
Yes.
Just giving those 61 key models. Because if you play, it's just such a treat.
Yeah. Also in '84, we had the RK100, our original Keytar. This is the modern reissue, which you've probably seen. I think you've played one of these before.
Not enough.
Not enough. I know you love Keytars.
Look at that.
We've never done Keytar concert, me and you.
Well, no,
because you did that Roland one, which is amazing.
I did a fabled Roland one.
The T-Rex. Yeah.
I know. Maybe I'm being a bit gun shy. Yeah. The first few videos I did with Pete were just unhinged. I blame Pete. But yeah, we could do a Keytar.
We should do. Yeah, we should do. There's a red version. Which looks really nice.
I love the form. I love that it feels more like a guitar.
Our Keytar just because they feel easier to play and the size of them is more manageable.
Is that a ribbon?
Yeah, so we've got a ribbon controller as well. It's like full length.
It's a massive ribbon. Look at that.
Yeah.
And I love the mini keys.
Because some of the other ones just feel too big.
Impromptu key. Come on. Why does it feel so scary? But I basically had this thing where it's all good. Like this, hey, what's up? We're having a good time. And then they're like, play a chord, and you go,
yeah.
and then you're out.
Yeah.
And then you're out. And I bought one. And there's probably videos out there of a young me with hair in Paris. Like,
Oh, really? You had
yeah.
one? What model was that then?
It was just the controller version.
Oh, the AX something.
Yeah, and I midied it up, and I can remember going
AX7, I think.
Yeah, and I was like that, and I saw the footage back, like early days of YouTube. Was like, never again. Took it back the next day, returned it to an angry Frenchman.
Oh, okay, nice.
But that's cool that it's wood as well. Like, it makes it feel like a guitar.
Yeah, it does feel like it feels like a guitar. That's the idea.
I get that Roland were like, oh yeah, we can put different things on, but
their one is just so massive. Don't you think?
We need to have a shootout, especially now we got Oz as well.
Yeah, we need to bring the tone wood conversation into keyboard.
Yes. I don't know about the DW series.
Yeah, so the DW is an interesting one because these are pure. This was the last one that was a hybrid synth. So it had digital oscillators but analog filters. So actually very interesting and sounded great, especially the 8000. There's two different models.
Chunky.
People still sort of handcrafted some of the sounds in this now. I love the tape as well. So to get the data back in or to do backups, you had to connect a tape player to it.
We don't know how lucky we are, do we?
Yeah. And our modern day mod wave takes some inspiration from this as well with some of the technology in there.
Is this doing any wavetable stuff?
Yeah, well, it kind of is because it's PCM samples at the front end of the sound.
Yeah.
And then you can evolve those a little bit. So that's where the wavetable thing, it's a bit of a tenuous link, but yeah.
And back on, this is the Mark II 800.
Yeah, so the same one as the Poly.
A great buy. So look at this. And then the world changed.
The world did change.
The world changed. My dad's life changed.
Really?
What does it mean to you, the M1, and to Korg?
To Korg, it's it was the first kind of workstation in the world, really. One of the first major selling ones anyway. It just changed music forever, I think. Partly because of that workstation flow, but also the sounds in it. They're just still used today. It's unbelievable how those sounds, some of the sounds you go through, the trumpets and the trombones and the strings and stuff like that, are really dated, but the organs, the pianos, the choirs, that universe sound, they're just timeless.
Did they do many versions of the M1? Were there different size key beds?
There were different key beds, but there was an M1 EX as well, which is an expanded version with more sounds. And then there was also a T series, which came quite soon after. So there was a T1, T2, and T3. So T1 was the same size as the M1. The T2 was 76, and the T3 was 88 weighted.
Right, interesting. So
that was the first.
It wasn't a Triton, but the T.
Yeah,
T
the T
was
came in.
And when you look at it, again, it's so, just from a design point of view, even if you're not into keyboards, I reckon someone would enjoy coming here.
Yeah.
Like, it's so sleek. It must have looked like
because it was
future.
Because it was so minimalist. Because before that, we'd had, of course, the DX7
Look at these buttons in here.
And the Roland D50. So people were getting used to more that digital look and minimalist. But this, I just love it. Even at the back, it's just like rounded, and it's just like a masterpiece. The actual design of it, it's beautiful.
What qualified a workstation? Is a workstation that you could sequence on it?
Basically, that was the first time you could actually sequence, and also it was one of the first times you could stack more than two sounds together.
Yeah, in combi.
You had combi mode. So this really solidified that workstation moniker.
Film score, first patch.
Yeah, there you go. So you got program mode, single sounds, combi up to 8 sounds, and then sequencer as well, bringing that all together. And the fact you could save stuff on cards, and you had this massive library of expansion cards as well. So
oh my God, the
it was
patches.
just incredible.
If you're a big Bruce Hornsby fan and Bon Iver, loads of M1's really back in vogue.
Yeah. So quite soon after the M1, we then had the Wavestation, which was using similar kind of sample sets and similar technology in terms of the sounds, but it was a completely different approach to synthesis because we're using vector synthesis using the joystick.
That's why I was getting confused over the D.
And also wave sequencing, which was piecing lots of different samples together. We'll have a listen to that in a little sound clip, if you like, just to explain exactly what that's doing.
And we've got modern versions in the Wavestate.
That's the Wavestate SE. That's the bigger version, like the Op6 you were talking about.
Yeah.
With 61 note with aftertouch.
Sometimes I've had these in, I'm like, oh, these are the new Korg. But you are keeping the design aesthetic.
Yeah. And when you see them side by side, it does work, doesn't it? Yeah.
And I must say, key beds, I used to hanker for old key beds. I think the Radius.
Oh, the Radius, yeah.
The Radius and the M series had amazing key beds.
They did.
But now, I must say that all of them have got great key beds. It used to be real hit and miss on key beds, but now they're good.
The M3, I love that key bed. And I think that's a similar key bed we still use on the Kronos now. So to the 61 version.
It just feels amazing.
Really
and again, so we're playing this, and then this was a big part of the sound.
It was, yeah, because you could really either isolate the different layers or evolve the sound live, or you could program that to do automation.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, when we hear that, that's just brilliant.
Time. Oh, come on.
So then we're into the so that was 91 that came out. So then we're into the mid 90s with the Prophecy.
I don't know anything about the Prophecy.
Do you not?
I've never played it, but look at how wild it looks.
Yeah, this controller is unique.
What is that?
It's called a log controller, and it's never been made since. But I actually think it's really cool because it's sort of like multi-dimensional. Yeah.
So we got a combo of there's a direction there, but then is that a ribbon as well?
Yeah, it's a ribbon. That's basically like a normal ribbon, but then you can evolve it that way. Plus, you've got the mod wheel as well.
Bring back the log.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what it sounds like.
Okay, so this was using
a real hole in my knowledge.
If you look up on the picture there, that's a timeline of our synths. Oh. And at the bottom there, you'll see in the middle, you've got the wave drum, which we've talked about before.
Yeah, and I'm an owner of.
Oh, okay. The original.
Not the original.
Okay, because that's the original, which came out.
That looks so beautiful with the wooden.
Yeah, that came out just before this. And the big thing with that was it's using a new technology we developed called physical modeling, which is quite common now, but then it was quite special. So we're actually modeling sounds from the ground up and then being able to manipulate them. Then we put that technology into the Prophecy. So we could do that same thing, but for synth sounds. So do analog modeling really well, but also create sounds you would never hear in reality. And that's what this is all about. It's all about, because it's monophonic, so it's all about lead sounds, basses.
Look at 1995, I could have guessed that.
Yeah. And when we hear it, there's some famous patches, like The Prodigy used this on some of their albums, which are really cool.
Karma. Huge for me.
Yeah. Did you have one of these?
No, I lusted after it.
Right.
Daryl Diaz, Herbie Hancock's second keyboard player, Future DVD.
Yeah.
This is the birth of Express Lead. When I found
out. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
This is the first. He plays a solo in Chameleon, and I was like, okay, I have to have that. But then I found out that he's got it.
I'll put it on there for you, especially.
Oh, that's made my day. That. Honestly, out there, have you ever thought about playing synth solos? Don't bother with any other sound, just get Express Lead.
Can I just say, probably one of the nicest cars I've ever seen.
Right?
Made in.
Yeah. And never been done again, really. So it's
never done.
Yeah.
And I love your take on it. What was Karma? Because it's very unique.
Yeah.
And it's still in, you've kind of hidden the vegetables in your modern products.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so it still lives on in Kronos. And it was in the M3 you were talking about.
Was it the Stephen K. algorithmic?
Yeah, something algorithm, yeah.
This amazing guy that basically came up with an algorithmic way, so they feel like living arpeggiators.
Exactly, that's what it is. It's arpeggiators that you can manipulate almost in infinite ways. So they just become much more organic and musical, basically.
But again, what a great looking keyboard. Again, that struck out when I was watching the DVD. I was like, I want that. And then this was if you went to a music college around that time.
Or any gig.
Or any gig.
Yeah, that'll be on top.
We're talking Triton, and lest we forget, Trinity.
Yeah, so Trinity came out at the same time as Prophecy. So amazingly, they came out the same year, 95.
Touch screen.
Yeah, touchscreen. First keyboard with a touchscreen on it as well.
Before the iPhone.
Yeah.
I always remember that. I can remember like looking I was like, hang on, the Trinity had a touchscreen.
Yeah, in like the mid-90s.
In the mid-90s.
Yeah.
And a really usable. And again, on here, like...
It was basically the same screen as this. Yeah.
This touchscreen works great.
What year is this?
That was 95 when the Trinity came out. Triton was 99. And that was 2000.
Unless if people don't know about the Triton, you're hearing a huge resurgence in it. What was the Triton to you and Korg?
Well,
it was massive,
It was just massive. I mean, every R&B pop act were using it. Not just live, but in the studio, especially in the States.
Everyone.
All the R&B guys just all over it. The drums as well. They used a lot of the drum kits for records. Because this was the day, of course, before any plugins or anything like that. So everyone's doing everything on hardware pretty much. So that was just must be on like hundreds of thousands of records probably.
All
Same thing like the M1.
Neptunes, clips.
Neptunes, yeah.
And again, on a live rig, everyone would have this and maybe a Roland rack.
Yeah.
The
JV 1080.
Yeah, JV 1080.
Yeah.
But again, this had a better action. And if you were into this stick, you just loved it.
And the touchscreen again was very rare in those days.
And then you did the extreme models with the valve in it.
That was blue, which was a lovely looking keyboard as well, yeah. So that was the valve from the Electribe. So we'll look at the Electribes over there, but they came out the same year as this as well. So that's a whole nother product range which we invented at that point.
And that was out for how long? How many years did you have that before?
The Triton?
Yeah.
So that was 99, then there was the Extreme, which came about early 2000s. Then you had the M3.
Which was massive. If you ever watched This Is It, Michael Jackson, This Is It, and I can remember watching that.
Because the MD was using that one a year.
Yeah, and a really clever idea with the radius, which was, again, really ahead of its time. Lest we forget, I'm just going to maybe not, but MS-2000.
Yeah, that's another one I need to get in here because, that's another.
Yeah, I'm sure loads of people out there got MS-2000. Yeah. You're looking back, these were digital modelling.
Yeah.
But again, I can remember as a teenager thinking, oh, that looks like rocket science. And I was craving presets, but that's where we had the microkorgs.
Yes.
But now when I look back, I go, oh my God, why didn't I buy an MS-2000? Because it was all laid out. I could have learned a lot more.
Absolutely, yeah. It's just such a great synth.
And the radius.
Yeah.
And then on the radius, if you bought it, you could swap the panels.
I was going to say about that. If you got an 88 M3, then you could put an M3 and a radius next to each other.
And you were balling.
And that was like, the ultimate rig.
And then came the new era.
Yes. So then after the M3, we had the Oasys. But we don't actually have one, unfortunately. So this is just a holding bottle at the moment.
That's amazing. Good man.
And then out of the Oasys technology came the Kronos.
Yeah, and then we're still in the era.
Yeah. And this
the age of Aquarius.
This was the Kronos X. So this was the kind of second iteration. This was Rick Wakeman's Kronos. He's still got his set list on there.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's a cool thing to have in the museum as well.
Oh, he's playing a bit of James Arthur, is he?
Yeah, looks like it, yeah.
Journey, 1984 Suite, Julia, Robot Man, Arthur.
It's got some key changes over it. Cool changes.
I like to see that I'm not alone in that. Right, I'm not saying I have any degree of his skill, but I am a big sticker of stuff. Like at the moment, I've still got all the chords on the gig on my.
Like C, F, and G. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. It's wild that we still do it.
I know,
but I do love that you could actually use the note. You're one of the few keyboards you could use the notes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you don't even need that, ironically. Yeah. But,
yeah. And recently, just only this week, still pushing stuff on the Kronos. What did you release? I saw you in the video.
Oh, yes. The Robert Glasper expansion pack. It's just incredible, yeah. So we went to Henderson's studio, sampled his piano that he picked out from Starmay Hall, and then meticulously sampled it all and built this sound pack. So I helped with the sound design on that as well.
Piano and Rhodes?
Yes, and Mark 8 Rhodes as well.
How do you get that onto your keyboard if you're a Kronos?
So it's actually a free download. That's what's cool about it as well. So you can just go to our website, find that library. It's called the Robert Glasper pianos and EPs library, and then just download it, put it on a USB key. It will come with a PDF how to install it, but it's actually really easy.
Are there like different patches in there? Have you done some?
Yeah, we've done some different voicings and different couple of layers and nice little things. Basically speaking to him, what patches does he use and like, and we tried to recreate some of those. Because he was already using Kronos and some of the sounds in there. So we kind of did an amalgamation of those, plus this newly sampled Grand, which is just sounds. And his sound is just so unique because it's so soft. His voice and the voicings he uses and everything, and yeah, just love it.
I saw in there, which piqued my interest, was this gentleman wheeling in a robot.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What was that?
So we have this thing called PianoBot, or we call it PianoBot, and it's a machine that fixes over the keyboard, and then it automatically goes across, and it has a little thing that comes out which strikes the key, and then we can set whatever velocity we want to strike it at, and it also works for the pedals as well. We've got a separate one for the pedals. So you can get all of the...
Whoa, the actual...
Yeah. So you can get we've got a robot that controls the pedals. I always
thought, without that, how do you do it?
Yes.
They're just relying on a player, right?
Yeah, that's right. So we got Robert to do some of the sampling, but then, because if you imagine how many times you've got to strike the keyboard, it's just like, because there's like 12 velocity layers per key. So it's how many keys, 88
So you get that softest version of
Yeah.
Robert, that's probably him on its own.
So so what we do is we got him to record some example tracks on that acoustic piano on the Steinway. When we got all the sampling done, we then analysed that to make the patches to then play that same phrase to make it sound the same as him.
Cool guy?
Lovely guy, absolutely legend, yeah.
Oh, awesome. I've seen some beautiful videos with him and his family. His son's super talented as well.
Absolutely he is, yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. What have we got around here?
So around here, this carries on kind of the story. Well, for a start, we made this nice chart, which looks a bit like a waveform, which I really like.
Yeah.
It's basically charting the whole history of Korg, all of the landmark products. It's a bit like an extension of the thing you see up there, basically, but with more detail. So if people are really interested in what came out when, this is really cool. And there's a lot of world firsts on here for Korg. So, for instance, that's the tuner which we brought out, the WT10.
No.
Which was the world's first meter-type electronic tuner. Because although we don't have many tuners in here, Korg are obviously very renowned for making tuners as well. That's one of our main things.
Yeah, we forget that.
Yeah.
And the millions of when I worked in the shop as well, that was the go-to one,
Absolutely,
that little battery-powered one.
Yeah, and we're still doing all that as well.
So what year was that?
1970, 75.
You were responsible for getting the world in tune.
Yeah. Moving forward, we also had the first iOS app. So when the iPad launched, our music app launched on the same day.
Wow. And what a testament. If you just glance there, there's something every year.
Yeah, didn't even mention the O1W. And then, so that sort of bridges the gap between the T-Series and the Trinity. That was a great workstation as well.
Really, I never played one.
Really sought after today.
I love the aesthetic.
Yeah.
And more than ever, you've been proven right. I feel like we're kind of post-pop, like the idea that the decades were defined by music and culture, and we're now just always referencing nostalgia. I mean, either way, that drums graphic
I know,
is
they just so off their
perfect.
time, aren't they? It's amazing.
But it's so hot right now.
And then we were saying about the Triton coming out in 99, so we also had that same year. It was quite an incredible year because you had Triton, Electribe and Chaos Pad all coming out in the same year. We've had a whole range of Electribes.
These seem to be getting a resurgence as well.
Yeah. They still sell, because these are the modern versions of them, but they still sell really well.
But the visible valve as well.
Yeah, they're great.
Unbelievable. So and they sound amazing.
That's a similar vibe that was on I think that's where they got the inspiration for the Triton Extreme, having the valve exposed. Yeah. So, and then the Chaos Pad obviously speaks for itself.
And I used this monotron delay all the time. If you're looking for a stocking filler, that is the one. So this is a really interesting thing. And the reason the monotrons are here is because this was when Korg's journey and story came full circle from the early analog days through the digital age back to analog. 2010, when the original monotron came out, that was the first time Korg had made an analog synth, I think since Monopoly, so it's the early 80s anyway. So it was this product?
It was that product that kicked it off. That was actually an experiment by Tats. He was a young guy in Korg then, just said, I've got this project, what do you think?
Way, I didn't know that.
And he made the monotron. It sold it went gangbusters. It was just crazy.
Even now, I mean, they're very reasonable.
Yeah. And they've got analog filters in. That's why people love them.
If you've got...
And the delay ones are really
I use it, I love these little, like, teenage engineering, but any sampler, you can put it through that, filter it, and get a great analog delay.
Absolutely.
The delay is so crunchy.
It's quite dirty, it's quite dirty. And it's...
and a dub siren.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And They're really affordable. They sound brilliant, and that's why the original Monotron did so well, because it had the original MS-10, I think, filter in it. You could feed any piece of gear through it and then get that analog sound.
Yeah.
Without having to spend and that was unheard of really back then.
Well, still is now. It's really hard for someone to beat that price point.
Just great. And then out of that came the Volcas behind us. So that's when we...
Some classic, mate, thanks for all the videos you did on that.
We did a good one on all of these, didn't we?
Hopefully I'm a bit more calm than I used to be, but when I look back at some of those...
You were quite wild.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you were very kind, thank you.
First present my girlfriend ever got me.
Oh, really? Roger?
Yeah.
Oh.
Nice.
And this seems fully featured. These are all still out.
Yeah, all still available.
And I love the update on this. I mean, this sounds... I don't know why that sounds so good.
It's a DX7 in a box.
I do think it's like crunch, whatever your...
Yeah, with the converters
DACs
are
are,
different,
whatever.
yeah. And also you got effects, which helps. So you've got nice chorus, nice reverb.
And now, like, right up to date, this is... We saw you at Super Booth.
Yeah, and we were just launching this. It was in a kit form.
It was a kit form,
Yeah,
so I've not seen this.
It. Yeah. So this is a great little product.
Do you feel that? The hand of... But you put this together, and again, a great present for someone.
So this is a whole range now. We've got the NTS series. The idea of these is they're kits.
Yeah.
And then you can build them. They're really affordable, but they're great instruments as well.
Oh
so we've got,
goodness.
Yeah, and this new mixer it feels
the shaft.
proper, doesn't it?
Did you feel the
You
shaft?
did a little video on it, I saw.
Yeah, I did a social on this. They're so sturdy.
The parts on it.
I can't believe how sturdy it.
Yeah.
For something you put together yourself, it's so like...
And for the price, it's just crazy.
And do these run the effects?
They don't. That's one thing it does.
Okay.
It is just a standalone mixer, if you like. So,
but the that got the Mark II, because I've got a Mark I of these, and I bought the Sine Vibes effects for it.
Yeah.
It's like, I love it as well, like open source.
All the like multi-engine oscillators and effects, they're brilliant.
Oh, that looks dope. Look at
So
that.
I wanted to show you this because this was one of the early videos we did. Well, it was certainly a few years ago.
I've never seen
on the original Prologue, and this is literally a one-off which we had at the NAMM show, which we managed to acquire for this museum. So it doesn't actually work. It's just a showpiece.
It doesn't work.
No, unfortunately.
Bring this.
We need to launch
Yeah,
that.
this is like, I can't believe even the history of music. There's only a few reverse key models,
Yeah, that's true.
and like, there's so much you could do with the colours.
Yeah.
You could have full rainbow.
That one looks spectacular, though, doesn't
What a crime that it doesn't make a noise.
it? Yeah.
I mean, that is so fly. Scott Storch with that.
Yeah, imagine.
Interesting end of the room, looks like very engaging.
Yeah.
And I see Dr. Korg over there, which I haven't seen, but you said there's a story behind Dr. Korg.
There is, yeah. So Dr. Korg was a character that Korg invented back in the 70s to make the synths a little bit more engaging and seem more fun, basically. So there's a character, and he had these really nice things in the manuals where he's explaining the basics of synthesis and stuff like that. And so we've brought that kind of theme back.
Bring him back. Look at him. He looks a jovial fellow.
And we've got these really nice little cards for people to try these synths out. Some of the modern synths.
Yeah, and that idea that now I bet the kids love it as well, making things. But also, I spotted this, and it worked perfectly, which is, it'll do it now, right? You know, so these are pointing to some of the digital products.
Yeah, so we have a whole software suite of, we call it Korg Collection, which are basically digital recreations of all of our synths.
So what do I want? I want the Electribe. And then this comes up, tap it.
And then it will load, and then you'll be playing that Electribe from keys.
I love it. And all of this works touchscreen as well?
Yeah, that's right.
I bet if you had a class of kids in here, they've all got something to play on.
Yeah, and also all the Volcas along there.
And some of the records that you've been using on there?
Yeah, so we've got put these displayed. So these are not just random pieces of vinyl. These are some things that are relevant to some of the tracks you'll probably hear me on some of the clips. So things like The Prodigy, For the Prophecy, and then Queen used M1 all over that album, Innuendo. Kylie's Can't Get You Out of My Head. That whole track was made on a Triton LE, which is like, unbelievable. And it doesn't seem that long ago that everything is done on hardware then, so it's really cool. Yeah.
Okay, well, it's been a beautiful walkthrough, but there's also another big reason why we came here. And we spoke about it before, but to do this and to show you what we've brought, I have to go to my car, and I'll be back in a minute.
Let's do it.
Probably dripping with sweat, because this thing's a big one. But just a bit of an envy warning. You're going to see the Octavia, so don't get jealous. But also, what we're getting out, I don't know if this is going to come across. This thing's so heavy. This is a box of documentation that we'll have a look.
Do we go in the front?
Actually, I do, yeah. One of the world's greatest flight cases. It just needs lifting up, that's it. Right, here we go. Look at the wheels. I'm gonna lose a leg here. It's got wheels on the bottom, so yeah, so we need to get up. I got this in the car this morning on my own. Oh! Get the triceps, yeah? Just imagine gigging this. That's why only the baddest dudes gig this.
What the?
She's a big one. Luke, you've had experience with this.
Have I?
Yeah, you have. I'm going to wheel it round. Because even though you've made a lovely gesture over here, and I'm going to need this after moving this. It is the fabled Korg Oasys.
The Oasys?
It's the Oasys. And basically, let's get it out. Let's unsheath it. It's not much lighter without the flight case. There she blows.
Look at that. That is epic, isn't it?
The absolute, I was saying earlier, not the Condor, but the Concorde
yeah.
of keyboards. We made a video where I posited to you how have things changed from the Oasys. And in that you played some of the best demo keyboards I've ever heard. So go watch that video. But let's have a little talk about the Oasys whilst we get it up on here. What does the Oasys mean to Korg and you?
Oh God, it's heavy.
Oh, it is heavier than the sun. I've got my finger in the CD-ROM drive. Oh,
Look
what
at
a fit.
Look at that.
Touchscreen as well.
It came out in 2005, so it was really the culmination of lots of R&D for many years. The Oasys as a technology actually existed as, not many people know this, but it was like a PCI card you put in a PC originally. That's where the concept started.
Oh, right.
So it was like using all these different engines in a PC format. But then it was adapted into this, the keyboard version, completely changed the way keyboards work. And still not many keyboards work this way, really. It's evolved into the Kronos, but the multi-engine format where you've got in this, it's evolved now to 9 engines, but you had many engines in the, it was almost like using plugins in a computer. So you could have like your MS-20, and then you could have your PolySix, and then you could have your sample-based engine, and then your Mod 7 for FM, and bring them all together in these incredible combis. Plus you had all the Karma technology, so you basically had one of these built in as well.
Yeah,
Karma.
see Karma here. CD-ROM drive.
CD-ROM drive.
So when
it was, yeah, literally a whole production experience in one keyboard.
Some of the greatest pads ever. Like I said, this screen,
brilliant,
massive touch screen. This, and the reason this came to my attention, again, like Herbie Hancock, great ambassador for you guys.
Yeah.
But there was a couple albums he did called the Imagine albums. And in the videos for that, and when he was touring, he'd just have a grand piano and then the Oasys next to it.
Yeah.
And when I first started at Andertons, this was in the corner.
Yeah.
And it was unobtainium. And I think we did the inflation, like with inflation, it's crazy.
Oh yeah, it is, yeah. Because I remember back in stores when I was working for Roland, looking at this thinking, this is unbelievable. But the price of it, I think it was like $6,000 or something back then.
Yeah, and for the 88, this is the rarest of the rare. It's the big 88 key version, and it works flawlessly. And basically, this is the story, and it involves a big thank you. It came in, and it was in the second-hand section of our website. Great, by the way, go check it out. Great deals. And I can remember doing a video being like, oh, God, that's cool. Let's just get it out and do a video on it. We did a video on it, and it did really well. People were like, oh, my goodness, I can't believe how good this keyboard is. And I was kind of lamenting it, like, oh, yeah, like kind of life's a bit grey without the Oasys in it. It was close to my birthday, and I've got a great supporter in my life, and support of the channel as well, which is my mother's husband, Jeff Weber out there. He was kind enough, on my birthday, I just turned up, and he bought it from the second-hand section.
No way.
Andertons for me. So I was such a lucky boy. And this is about 4 years ago. So I've had this in my possession, and I love it. We did the video on it.
Yeah, which was brilliant.
And it's a dream. And a few occasions, I had this in a studio where I was working, and it was like people would come in and, you know, the reaction, like, what is that?
It just looks wild, doesn't it?
Yeah, wild. And then it was a shame, really, because now it's like peak Naughty's revival.
Yeah.
This is the ultimate keyboard you want if you want to pull off Naughty's music. One thing that came up was that you said about this museum and the fact that you didn't have an Oasys.
Yeah.
And so what we'd love to do is, and again, Jeff's absolutely cool with it, I'm so cool with it, and we love Korg, is that we're going to have this here in the museum. So this is going to be donated to the museum, and you can come see the Concord of keyboards here, thanks to Jeff and his kindness and your inspiration on it as well.
Thank you. I mean, this is an
But like
incredible
just
thing.
and there's nothing more thrilling than hitting these pads.
Yeah.
Like,
Because some of the chords are
if
programmed
we
in
can
are
get some
ridiculous.
kids in here, like just hammering these patches and falling in love with the absurdity of keyboards, then
It's a win.
Yeah, we've done a win there. So yeah, thanks again, and just testament to Korg and the inspiration from it. I can't wait to plug this in.
Thank you. Yeah, let's get it plugged
And I
in.
tell you what, bring back the Oasys. Like the next step of Kronos is to go back to the Oasys.
Yeah.